Izzy Adesanya has started a war with Joaquin Buckley following Kamaru Usman beating him this past Saturday. You guys already know I'm a big Buckley fan. I had my fun during the week, but we're gonna talk about Izzy versus Buckley. We're gonna talk about Usman versus Buckley, and I'm gonna approach this from the business side of MMA, the fighting side of MMA, and then I want to talk about the personal side and what Kamaru Usman brought up in his press conferences and what they said on the Pound for Pound podcast. I'm gonna leave that link down below. If you haven't watched that podcast, go check it out. But let's get into the beef. Let's see what I have it pulled up here, right? Yeah, I do. Uh so real quick, make sure I got my audio and everything going on. Alright, so I'm not gonna read the fucking article. I'm just gonna show you the video, and yeah.
I hate this nigga, bro. I don't even use the word hate lightly, but I hate this nigga, bro. Something about it just fucking annoys me. Like, literally, I'm just trying to chill, talk, like, hey, man, you know, we gotta get this going, man. You mean, like he's rapping to me. I'm like, every single time. He's just so fucking annoying. And at one point, I literally just walked away as he was talking. Maybe I'm a hater, bro. Maybe I'm just a hater, bro. Hey, give them. Not them on show. Oh, yeah. Daddy Shoki, the King, Davido, Francis. What are you saying? Nah, I'm a hater, bro. I understand it now. I get it. I understand it now. I've been sipping that haterade, man. Jesus. He almost uppercutted himself. This fucking sure you can. Let's go. For 946 is the right score. Retire. No, Jackson.
Come on, dog. Call your therapist right now, nigga. Call your therapist right now, nigga.
Hello.
The devil lied.
Help me. I'm a hater. I'm finally a hater. I understand it now.
Uh, that was funny. That was funny. Even as a big Walking Buckley fan, Izzy, Izzy's comical. I'm gonna admit it. So he posted his reaction right after the fight, and obviously this started the war between Buckley and Izzy. Now, I fast forward in the video to where he addresses this, but I, I highly recommend, even if you're not the biggest Walking Buckley fan, go watch this video, or at least go watch the uh appearance he had on Pound for Pound, which we're gonna talk about it. And after we watch this, talk about the hypothetical fight, and yeah.
That we work towards, but he has a lot to say about the situation. But I'm not gonna speak for my man. I'm gonna allow him to speak. Also, you guys know about our Brick Brothers podcast that will be coming out soon, where Edric can speak about his side and what happened in that fight, right? But I just love how, certain people out there that speak on moments like this against us, right? And that person I'm talking about, right? He know what it is to take a L. He know what it's like to lose. But to say that you hate a motherfucker and you glad that they lost, you glad that they, you know what I'm saying, didn't achieve their dreams is wild to me, bro. Like, bro, why the fuck you mad at me? What the fuck I do to you? Cause I find it funny how you hating on me. You need to be hating.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause it here so you guys can read it. I can't say it. I'm white. But I mean again, the back and forth. This one gets me every time. This one gets me every time. But we know this is the business, right? We know it's the promotion side. And this is one hell of a fight. Again, for a guy like Buckley who's just arriving at stardom, to go from Wonder Boy to Colby to Usman to possibly Izzy, that's a wicked run of fights to get for anybody, whether he wins them or loses them. Now, if he fights Izzy, I'm going to be cheering harder for him than I did against Usman. The main reason I cheered against Usman in that fight, all we have done is these. I don't know him personally. He's ruining the sport. Like, look at how much power he has over the matchmaking. Look at how many of his guys have gotten title shot after opportunity after number one contenders. But Justin Gaethje, prime example. But let's continue.
That took your belt. And y'all know what I'm talking about. That nigga Izzy. He trying to be funny. Like, he trying to use his platform to talk shit on me. But that really just shows me the potential of my name and how big I'm becoming, right? Because if I was really small for real, he wouldn't say nothing to me. Just like when I met his ass at the PI. And I ran up on him and was like, hey, bro, I think we'd be a good ass fight. That nigga was quiet at the time. That nigga turned his back. I'm like, all right, nigga. That's how you really feel? But see, I'm man enough to come to your face. Tell me how you feel to my face, though, bro. Instead of being like a hoe, you all underneath the covers and shit like, man, I hate that nigga. Sweet motherfucker. Because I don't know why you on my dick anyway. Because you done your thing. You been in your spot. I'm working towards mine. But you're the type of fighter, like I said before, that you ain't no real fighter. Little, you want to be a little pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? I will give you a sample, but I don't like boy pussy. And that's 100. You can get this work any given time, bro. I can give it to you. But I just hate fighters like you, man, because you want to downplay on somebody that's trying to work towards something. What you hating on me for? You done what you done. You did what you did. But look at another brother trying to make it up, and you want to clown him. Oh, but I forgot, nigga, you Chinese. You ain't another brother. The real African that runs that spot is DDP. You gonna try to make him like, oh, no, you a real African brother. No, DDP is. Because he's still getting it in where he from in South Africa. But where you at? New Zealand? Australia? America? You don't know who you riding with. So that's just how I feel. Like, a lot of you guys that want to shit on somebody that's trying to make it, that's trying to do something, right? You funny. Because at the end of the day, you can do that on camera, but when you see me, you quiet. You don't say nothing. You shy. Because like I said, we can really get busy if you want to. And guess what? It ain't got to be competition with the UFC setting this up. We can get busy if you want to. Because like I said, the type of mentality that I have that I carry in the fight, I didn't do it that night. But now, that shit gonna always be turned on. I'm gonna always have that mentality, kill or be killed from now on. Because that was my moment, y'all. That was my shot. I'm talking about right there in my hand. Gone. But you gotta stand on your decisions. And with that being said, I gotta move forward from this. I gotta move on. Because it's only gonna eat me up, right? I have to develop and I have to get better and I have to show the world once again how great I am. Moving from 185, going 5-4, moving to the welterweight division, right? Going 6-0 with majority of knockouts of my ranked opponents. I fought one of the best welterweight fighters on this planet. I fought one of the future Hall of Famers of the UFC. And even though, yes, he did hold me down for 4 rounds, in that 5th round, I showed y'all just a glimpse of my greatness. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, boy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here because I don't know if the UFC's gonna come after me for showing um fight footage. You know, YouTube, it sucks. Um, but I highly recommend you go watch that full video. And also too, uh, actually, I'll get to the Pound Film podcast. So when it comes to Joaquin Buckley versus Izzy Adesanya, right? You gotta look at where both these guys are in their career. Joaquin Buckley, rising star, had his run at middleweight, had that, spinning kick where Buddy caught his kick, spun around, knocked him out. Highlight, one of the best knockouts ever. And then he gets in there with Wonder Boy. Gets Wonder Boy out there. Fights Colby. Colby gave him some issues. Colby's a Division One wrestler. And Buckley said this in his video there. Colby's Division One. Kamaru's Division Two. And it's as simple as Kamaru outworked him. Kamaru did exactly what we knew he would do in the event he won. But back to Izzy, right? You look at Izzy. He lost. Well, he lost to Alex. Got that. Got that one back in the UFC. 3-1 in their series, and then he ends up fighting Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland, the UFC gave Izzy because they thought that he would beat Sean, and Sean went out there, nearly finished him, and just walked him down for the entire fight. Very impressive performance. It built Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland, one of the biggest names in MMA right now, just fought for the title. We'll have to see who he fights next. But it wasn't even the fight that stood out to me. It was what Kamal and Buckley both said at the pre-fight press conference. Usman specifically, right? Because he took off these 2 years after losing a very close fight on short notice to Hamza. Pico thought he won that fight. And when he talked about taking the time away from the sport, spending that time with his family, readjusting, putting priorities together, and finding what he wants to do, who he is outside of the cage. And that's something that not a lot of fighters talk about. I appreciate Usman, even though he beats every fucking fighter that I like. Usman's very open. Usman's very honest. And, you know, kind of like Izzy when he lost his belt. Now that I'm viewing the sport more objectively because of this channel, I appreciate Usman. I like Usman. The Jorge knockout was incredible. And this guy is a top three welterweight. It's GSP, Matt Hughes, Kamaru Usman. Those are the names. Maybe JDM joins them. Maybe Islam joins them if, he puts a few defenses together. But again, the majority of that legacy is at 155. But, we're all fans. We're all fans of fighting. We're all fans of the sport. We're fans of the pageantry. And, you know, at the end of the day, these guys are putting their lives on the line. It's not just inside the cage. It's the training camp. It's the media that you're obligated to do. It's the interviews that you're obligated to do. And you had to take that time. A lot of these guys fly out to a different state, fly out to a different country to train for months away from their family and focus in on fighting one person inside of a cage. But that's not just it, right? You gotta be promotable. You gotta be entertaining on the mic. You gotta be pushing the sport forward. You gotta give yourself those opportunities, right? And me as an MMA fan, as a YouTuber, as somebody who's gone through everything I've gone through, uncovering the BJ Penn situation, I'm reviewing a lot on this channel, and you know I don't mind being real. I'm somebody where I was a quiet kid, but like over the last few years going through what I went through, I'm not gonna say the sky is blue because everybody else says it's blue. I'm gonna say what I see. And what I saw over the last week were two of the best welterweights, two of the best guys in the division right now went at it. Usman won, you know, 48-47. I'm biased. I like that scorecard. But I thought he won 4-1. I had it 49-46 while watching it. And, I had my little tirade on Ali Abdelaziz because Ali is ruining the sport. I stand by that. Look at how many of his fighters are at the top. Look at how many of his fighters get instant title shots. Gaethje right now. But again, it's business, right? I'm not gonna hold that against Usman. That he worked his way up there. He put himself in these fights, and he's been victorious all but three times in his prime. He had that one loss early on in his career, but we only really look at the prime, right? Once it's all said and done, right? And I feel like what they said over the week resonates with everybody in this community, right? Whether you're making content on this shit, whether you work a normal job, whatever you do, it's we all we all reassess. We all go through life. We go through our experiences, and it takes a lot of maturity to look at life, look at work, look at whatever it is, and be like, hey, it didn't go right because I did not make it go right. This situation went bad because I put myself in this situation. I did X. Like, even when it's not your fault, it's your fault in life. And that's something that, you know, it's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. But, in this sport, you kind of got to learn that really quick to really make it to the top. And, you know, I don't think I'm breaking any ice and saying it's been pretty grim lately in the media, in MMA, all around. My gamers out there. Gaming is fucking dead, right? And with all that going on, it's very important that we reflect, we prioritize what we need to prioritize, and we execute what we need to execute, right? And right now, because of what Kamala Usman said, because of what Joaquin Buckley said, I'm committing to this. I'm committing to this channel. I'm committing to growing this to be one of the biggest channels in the MMA sphere. And I want to make sure I'm constantly improving off of that. and this fight week is the main reason for it. So, I'm still bitter that my fighter lost, but I mean, I don't care. Win or lose, Buckley is my guy. Buckley is my boy. I would love to meet him. I'd love to go on his podcast at some point. You're gonna get that belt, man. You're gonna get that belt. I think within the next 2 years, Buckley holds that title, and I think over this time, he's gonna. He already said it in the Usman interview, right? You know, he's gonna become a booty warrior. He already did it to Rusev. Like that fight only happened a year ago. Um, but I gotta keep my boy's name in the media. I gotta hype up his fights, and yeah. Also, I had to cover BJ Penn and all these other stories. That's my you know that's my priority. That's my job, right? But I don't know. I hope you enjoyed my little spiel at the end. Let me know, what do you think about Izzy Adesanya and Joaquin Buckley going at it? Would you like to see this fight next? Um, or would you like to see a different fight for the both of them? Both of them. Obviously, I think it's the biggest fight they both have right now. I would love to see Michael Morales versus Buckley. That's Usman said that fight, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. But I've been rambling for 22 minutes. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting once again. Later.